Hey, Stavi, how you doing, baby? Love the show, love
Thanks,
the podcast. Keep doing what you're doing.
Are you gonna
So
stop?
I've got I got a problem with one of my buddies, and we're in a dispute over $40. So
That's tough.
he and I went to go visit my cousin. My cousin had been drinking the night before. Wanted to go to a sauna to sweat out the hangover.
Oh, that's nice.
We all go to a sauna. We go to a Russian bathhouse, a banya. Got, a locker room, you change into a towel, and then you go into a sauna, steam room, shower, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So
We know how it works.
perfectly fine. We all go in. Obviously, you see naked dudes in there, but it's fine.
Okay.
We sweat it out, feel better. We leave the banya. Then in the parking lot, we're driving out, and this dude stops our car, makes me roll down the window, and he says, you guys gay? You wanna fuck? And I was like, no, sorry, like, we're good. And we took off, we got out of there. And
friend's like,
one of
"Oh,
my
I actually
friends
left my
starts
phone
having a
in there."
conniption. My cousin's fine. He's like, yeah, whatever. My friend will not stop mentioning that the whole bathhouse is a gay place now. Won't fucking calm down. Whatever. Drop him off. Venmo request my cousin and him for the $40 it costs to get into the sauna. That's where this comes in. My cousin pays me back, and my friend, he said, dude, that's on you. That place is gay.
Wow.
You're fucking trying to make me gay, and you won't give me my $40. And I think that he's struggling with some sort of, repressed sexual feelings. He's pretty openly vehemic, homophobe. So, got any advice for me? Maybe this is a bigger problem than $40. Maybe I got to help my friend out here, but I would like the money first. So, yeah.
He's like, how
let me know
dare
what to do.
you? How dare you take me to that place? I've been back 3 times. I go back and I argue with them about how gay it is. And I'm there for a couple hours arguing. So if you see, I know you have my location. And if you see me that I've been there for 2 hours a night the last week, it's because I'm telling them how pissed off I am and how gay that place is. I mean, dude, this is insane. This is like...
I mean, first and foremost, he owes you that $40.
I mean, that's
a non-negotiable.
Without question. It's like, okay, man, well, if we got...
Also, you went in. You didn't
You
stop
enjoy,
and go, like, what the F? And
you
left,
didn't have gay sex. You mean like because...
You borrowed the 40, and it's like, well, it wasn't what I expected. I'm like, no, you borrowed the 40. You just chose to come.
100%. Like, as soon as he's covering you, what happens? Like,
can you imagine? It's like, hey, cover me this meal. I'm like, the meal was bad. I'm not paying you back.
Yeah, that's insanity, dude. That's crazy. And it came
out burnt. I'm like,
I also paid. What the fuck? It was bad for me too. Why I should have to pay $80? So, I mean, not wanting to pay you $40, I'm not even kidding. I'm not exaggerating. That is grounds for not being friends with this person anymore.
To do that.
Because this is like a fucking how a child thinks of money, right? Like, I didn't have a good time. I don't have to pay you. That's crazy. That's number one. And then being a vehement homophobe, that's also grounds for maybe not being friends. Like, is he your best friend? Did he save you in Iraq? Like, what? How much do you owe this guy?
Yeah.
Because, like, these are two things where I'm like, each one of them separately is like, why? It really makes you think, why am I friends with him?
Why are you friends with this Welsh who hates gays? Actually, just like that's a Welsh.
Yeah.
That's just anybody from Wales.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, this is fucking crazy.
I will say,
Yeah.
as someone... It's in my culture to go to saunas and bathhouses,
Right, and not to pay people back.
Those
are two things.
So I actually can weigh on this quite a lot.
Complain about how you didn't have a good time, so you don't actually owe anyone money.
You owe them the money for sure. I will say it is annoying how the gays will take over a bathhouse, and make it a different thing.
But at the same time, you kind of know. That's what's happened.
Dude, so I know a couple in New York that are just hetero ones, and then you go on the road like bathhouse, and it's like only all dude disco night, and you're like, fuck.
And you know what it is.
And like, how do I find a hetero one?
It's kind of the way while we started the podcast, you're talking about like massage parlors with locks on the doors. It's like if you go to a bathhouse and they're playing Cher, probably get out of there. Unless you want to get sucked off, in which case, pretty fun.
The one I go to because a lot of Hasidic Jews has an all male day or like morning. And I was like, okay, I'll go to that. And one time I was like, hey, one bathhouse, and they're like, oh, it's all men today. And they looked at me weird, and I'm like, yeah,
I'm a man.
I'm a man. Come on, this doesn't preclude me.
Yeah.
I know I'm not a very great man,
Yeah.
but I'm a man at least.
Yeah.
And then I got down there and I was like, oh, I see
you're
what
like,
you're saying. They put their phones in the door hedges and they're literally playing disco. Somebody was like, hey, you don't know, it's all dudes, so you don't need those shorts. I'm like, oh, okay. He goes, so take the shorts off. And I'm like, nah, probably they're already on, so probably just gonna leave them on. It's pretty leery.
Yeah.
Here's the problem when coming in contact with gays, is that most men, heterosexual men, don't realize what creeps all men are.
Right.
They've never really seen it.
You've never had that power focused towards you.
Right. And so you see, you're like, well, this is terrible. So I would say, dude, just have your friend just realize what it's like to be a woman all the time.
Yeah,
it is annoying. And
yeah.
take it as a learning experience. And then just like, I don't know, find a hetero bathhouse. They're still fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to just be like, hey, man, you owe me. Explain to him what we just said. It's like,
you owe me the money.
You owe me the money, man.
If I paid for your lunch and it was burned, you'd still owe me the fucking money.
Exactly. And it's not like you took him to a gay place, I would even, he would still be wrong, but I would even listen to him if while in the sauna and you're having a schwitz, two guys came in and started jacking each other off in front of you, then
I'd be, let's get
he'd
out of
still
here.
be wrong, but he'd be like, what the fuck, man? Why did you take me to a gay? Because he can't even, he has no argument for you taking him to a gay place. Outside of the sauna, two guys propositioned you for gay sex. That's not you taking him to a gay place. This guy's a fucking piece of shit. He owes you the money. Like, you got to start there. And then, I mean, if he's a really good friend and you want to be like, hey, man, why does this bother you so much? And make him work through it. But my guess is you're not going to be able to do that. This is something. This guy feels like 10 steps away. If he is closeted, he's 10 steps away from realizing it.
Yeah, he's going to fight it a while. He's going
to fight it, and it's not going to be you. And I hate to say this, but unless this guy is a very close friend, and maybe he is.
Cousin.
This is like, yeah. He's your boyfriend. Unless he's a really close friend, it's like, you might need to. If he doesn't pay you the $40, dude, I honestly wouldn't fuck. I would be like, I would not hang out with this person. I'm serious.
This reminds me of
and it's not about the money, it's about the principle, to be clear, right? Like, my friend needed $40, I'd give him $40. But if he just tried to get one over on me.
It might mean a lot to this guy, but still, you got to pay it back. You got to pay it back. You borrowed money, you got to pay it back.
Totally.
I loaned money to DS once in his heavy coke phase, and he's like, hey, Ari, you got $200? I need $200. And I was like, a new young comic, kind of broke.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't know how to say no to him.
Yeah, of course.
But in my head, and he's like a legit criminal at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well, this will be the last time. He could have asked me for $400, so I'm out $200. He's never going to pay me back.
Right.
And I just won't ever have to loan him again.
Exactly.
Pay him back 2 days later.
Wow.
Yep. Never reneged on anything.
What a gentleman.
He just got through the paydays.
Wow.
This does remind me of a story.
Okay, please.
I was with Tom Segura, I believe Bert Kreischer, and me, and we're at a hotel somewhere. And we went to the steam room at the hotel. Great, fine.
You sucked both their cocks.
Well, if you're going to just go right to the
I'm
end
sorry,
of the story.
man. I didn't mean to step on your story.
I can still taste it. No, so we're down there. Some old dude is in there, and then he just like, he looks at it's me and Tom in there. I think Bert was just about to come in or just left. I'm not 100% sure it's Bert.
Sure.
And he just takes his towel and opens it and stares at Tom. Stares at him and just goes like this. And we're like, okay, because we're also like, whenever you go to one of these things or a locker room, you're like, well, what's the vibe going to be? What's the status quo? I don't want to if there's a bunch of old dudes with their cocks out, then that's just it. They're just old dudes who are comfortable.
Yeah.
So like, okay, and you're like, is this just the way? And then he starts like talking, and he starts negging me up and Tom.
What's his dick doing? Is his dick twitching?
Steamy in there.
Okay, all right.
And then he just goes to me. It's like, hey, you seem like you're pretty like worn out. You should probably like take a break. And I was like, I looked at Tom, and Tom's just like, dude. And then I was like, I realized it's the right thing to do to leave now. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Just leave Tom to the gay wolves.
Dude.
Throw your friend in the fucking steam room with a guy that wants to suck his
wants
cock.
it so bad. But it was just a hotel steam room. It's not a gay bathhouse. It's just a hotel steam room. It's like when fucking Pee Wee Herman did it. It was in a gay movie theater. It wasn't in the fucking Titanic.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so I leave. Tom's like, oh, no. I'm like, see you, man.
That's awesome.
Shut the door hard. And he came out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I would love to say it was just enough time to get it done, but it was not enough time to get it done.
That's so fucking funny,
Yeah.
dude. They just leave him in there with a guy that wants to fuck him.
Yeah, and then it was like, what's up? And then also we start talking about, like, how come me and not you? And he's like, well, there's bears. There's bear hunters. This guy wanted a fat dude. So then Bert goes, I'm going in.
Hilarious.
He was in there for 10 seconds, and the guy just walks out disgusted.
That's awesome because you know it hurt Bert's feelings.
It hurt Bert.
Like Bert wanted the guy to come on to him and then be like, "No, I'm straight."
not into that. But the guy was like, "Ew." At least Tom's is like a set-in fat. Yours is like a new pushed-out fat. No thanks. You want it too much.
Yeah, he put out that desperate, please suck my dick energy.
That guy likes to fuck heterosexual dudes, and you wanted it too much.
Right. Interesting. That's fucking hilarious.
It was great.
That's fucking hilarious. Yeah. Where was that steam room?
I think it was in Atlanta.
Atlanta, huh? Elders, I had a tour date. Elders, we're going to Atlanta next week.
That guy had the 80s AIDS, too. He was the one survivor. He was like that chick in 28 Weeks Later.